let's start by telling the story of two people. So you have person one and person two. So person one has a goal that he or she is aiming towards. You know, let's say it's a certain amount of money. That's a money sign. So let's say it's a certain amount of money. Person one's driver towards this money is just to flex on the gram. You know, he wants to be able to have cool pics on the gram and get a bunch of likes. You know, superficial things. And person two here, they have a goal, but their goal is to just be happy and to just enjoy whatever they are doing. So their main driver is their happiness and feeling good and doing something fulfilling every day. Now, this person here, person one, the probability of person one achieving this goal is about, let's say on average, there's a 20% chance that he would achieve this goal. And person two, even if person's two goal is way harder, let's say person's two goal is to build a $1 billion company, which is hard. So essentially, their goal is money, you know? But person two, they enjoy building businesses. And person one just wants to build a business or make money just for Instagram likes. So person one has a 20% chance, person two has about an 80% chance of this happening. Now, the reason for saying this is person one, their main driver is money and likes as something superficial. So to get from here to here, you have to have a process. This is the process here. This is the gray area here. This is where all the work happens. This is essentially where you procrastinate, because we all have goals. We all have things we want to get done. We all know what we want to do. If you know you want to complete a paper, you know you want to complete that paper. If you know you want to start a YouTube channel, you know that. You want to build a business, you know what you want to do. Everybody essentially somewhat knows what they want to do, which is kind of what I'll go into later in the video, but we just follow for now. So this is key. So the goal is not key. The process in between is key. So now, as I mentioned, this is you, this is your goal, and essentially what's most important is this area here. The work that you have to get done, that is what is most important. Now, to get this work done over a prolonged period of time, to achieve anything substantial, because the only way to achieve anything substantial is to work hard at something very consistently, basically over a long period of time. Now, as I mentioned, this is the most important part. So a lot of people would say, you know, you need discipline or you need focus. Now, these things are important. Discipline and focus are 100% important. However, if you don't enjoy this, if you don't enjoy this area here, which is where all of the magic happens, which is where all of your success comes from, if you don't enjoy this, how do you expect to get to here? So the point I'm getting at is, this is player one. The point I'm getting at is, player two has an 80% chance of succeeding. Oh, I messed up. That's a person. Yeah, that's a person. So player two has an 80% chance of succeeding because player 2 enjoys this. Player 2 enjoys building businesses and working hard on a business, working 18-hour days, stuff like that. But player 1 is just focused on this, whereas player 2 is focused on this. So essentially what happens is player 2 is able to work towards the goal at an insane rate. Player 2 is able to put in 18-hour days, whereas player 1 has to do a routine and has to force himself, and essentially it's not sustainable. Discipline could only take you so far. What takes you all the way, what essentially takes you all the way, is love. What I'm getting at is when you enjoy something, you do it to an insane level. Now, I was looking at this Michael Jordan documentary. So the question was how to become successful like him. And he said that a lot of parents and people would ask, so what workout routine, what diet? And his response is fall in love with the game. Simply fall in love with the process. And then at that point, what happens is that you just do it. It just happens. I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but it just happens. Like, do what you love. It just happens. So another thing that helps with this whole process is the fact that everything is not uptight and rigid because you enjoy what you are doing. So if I tell you, let's say player 1, his day is, okay, wake up and meditate. And then we do 30 minutes of jogging. And then we do 45 minutes of work. And then we take a break for 10 minutes. And another 45 minutes. And then essentially this is not sustainable. Like, we all know this is not sustainable. I'm pretty sure you have tried to do checklists and write down what you have to do to achieve this goal and that goal, etc., etc., and it never works out because more than likely you're not doing what you love, which is key. I would be an asshole if I just come on YouTube and say, oh, do what you love. So let me share some ways as to how you can figure out what you love, so then essentially you could hone in on whatever you love and work hard at whatever, hopefully monetize it in the future and build a business or make money around something that you enjoy. So let's jump straight into the list. So the first thing that you could do is check your YouTube history. Now, this is like a personal list that I'm kind of sharing. This is what I do to understand myself more and understand what I genuinely enjoy. So YouTube history or things that you search for on YouTube, I mean, that's a clear indicator as to what you are interested in, what you are able to sit down and consume content on. So obviously you have to keep in mind that a lot of the things that we consume now is based on externalities, is based on what's popular at the time. So this can be kind of misleading. So number 2, which I think is like the most important, would be spending time alone, some periods of isolation. So sometimes I would just delete all social media and just spend time with myself. And at that period in time, I would just write down my thoughts, and what would come up is essentially what is most important to you or what you enjoy the most, because at that point in time you have no external information or no external stimuli that's affecting your thoughts throughout the day, so essentially at that point you would get hopefully the purest form of your thoughts, if that makes sense. So you could start journaling your thoughts during this period. You could try meditation. I mean, I know I made fun of meditation earlier in the video, but meditation helps. And it doesn't have to be like sitting down and closing your eyes and folding your legs and and saying and whatever. It doesn't have to be like that. It could simply be just sitting down and not doing anything, just sitting down and just thinking and just looking at your thoughts and talking to yourself. I mean, it might seem kind of crazy, but yeah, it helps. Another thing is ask your friends, like, what don't you shut up about? Your friends would know, all right, this person talks about XYZ so much. When he talks about this, wow, you can see he really enjoys it. Or when she talks about this, wow, you can see she really enjoys it. So then essentially you are able to figure out from your friends. Now, make sure that your friends are honest with you and they provide proper information, and obviously take it with a pinch of salt. Another thing that is key to me is movies. My reason for saying this is the main character essentially reflect what you would like to see in yourself. So personally, my two favorite movies are The Wolf of Wall Street and Spider-Man. So analyzing that, I knew that with regards to The Wolf of Wall Street, I want to be insanely rich. And I also enjoy trading, not stocks, but trading on the Forex market. So I kind of saw myself in that from that perspective, from understanding that, yo, I really like this movie. I can look at this movie over and over and over and over. So probably I see something in this movie that I see in myself or I would like for myself. I also like the new Spider-Man a lot. He actually is childish and he struggles, but he gets his shit done at the end of the day. Another thing is books. Books is a big one as well because, I mean, if you don't enjoy a book, you won't read the book. You're like halfway through, you might stop, so then you would know for sure, all right, I don't like this book. Whereas with movies, if you sit to look at a movie and it's garbage, you might just look through it, like just to look through it. Or you might just look at a movie because it's popular and they'll be like, wait, that movie was garbage. But books, if you do read a book over and over, then obviously it has done something to you. Now, I don't want you to think that, you check YouTube and then, you isolate yourself, you journal your thoughts, and then you realize you like golf. And then your automatic belief is that, oh, I need to become a golfer. You don't have to become a golfer. You could immerse yourself in the golf ecosystem. So at that point, you could start. So let's say while thinking about, oh, I like golf, and while journaling your thoughts, you realize, oh, do I really like golf? Or do I just like the fact that golf is somewhat of a luxury sport? They wear Rolexes, they dress pretty well, they wear expensive clothes. So maybe I should get into branding. Maybe I should get, a branding deal, do some marketing for a golfing company, or maybe start a golf magazine, something of the sort. I mean, I'm just trying to say shit off the top of my head and maybe talking shit, which I think I am, but you get the point. Let's say you like fashion, bro. You could start a clothing brand. Yeah, that's brand. That's the word brand. You could start an IG page where you do photography. You know, you start going to fashion shows and you start doing photography, and like you just start monetizing your audience. So the main point here, the main point which I took forever to essentially portray, if you want to get from here to here, and this is your goal, please ensure that you fall in love with the process, with this period here. Fall in love with here. Do not fall in love with this. Now, I'm not saying totally disregard a goal and not set goals to help you move forward in life and, to motivate you. But if you want to achieve anything amazing or sustainable, my personal belief is you have to fall in love with here. Because the only way to get from here to here is by doing this. And here is not easy. This is not easy. To achieve anything sustainable is not easy. But if it's fun and you love it, it becomes easy. It becomes fun. It becomes a walk in the park. Like any amazing footballer, they love football. They enjoy playing football. Any amazing photographer, they enjoy taking pictures. They don't just like, oh, I want to take pictures, like, to be famous on Instagram, or like to get cool pictures on Instagram, get some likes. They don't do that for that shit. Photographers would, like, if Instagram didn't exist and you like photography, you would just take pictures because you enjoy it. That's probably another way to know if you actually love something. If the goal did not exist, would you do it? If there was no money here, would you just do it every day? Wake up every morning, refreshed, energized, ready to face the day. Would you wake up every day and engage in this specific task or immerse yourself in this specific ecosystem? Now, keep in mind, it doesn't have to be, one thing or two things. It could be three things. You could like photography, you could like fashion, you could like business, you could like trading, like it could be anything. No, I just listed the stuff that I like, but it could be anything. When you like it or you love it and it's fun, it doesn't feel as rigid. So making this video doesn't feel rigid because I enjoy talking about business and talking about concepts. Now, if you ask me to read a book or write a book, I'm not gonna do that because I do not like. I mean, reading is cool, but I don't enjoy reading. I enjoy talking and doing shit like this.
So, an analogy that I forgot to mention, and I think it would be beneficial to bring the point across effectively. So, imagine yourself as being a seed, and your goal or your purpose in life essentially is to be the best tree possible or the best plant possible. So, in order to cultivate this seed in the best way possible, you need to know how to harvest the seed, how often to water the seed, how much sunlight the seed is supposed to get. So, essentially, knowing all of these things is the same way as knowing yourself and knowing what your interests are. And the best way or the most effective way to make sure that this seed becomes the best plant or tree possible is to know how to harvest this seed or to grow this seed in the best way possible by understanding the seed. So yeah, that's a concept that I forgot to include, or an analogy I forgot to include. Another thing that I forgot to include would be mentioning something about player 2. So I spoke about the fact that player 2 focuses on external things such as likes and just having money to stunt and to flex, and to feel good about themselves because of the goal. What happens with player 2 most times is that because their focus is the externalities and these things, what happens is whenever they don't get it, whenever they aren't able to achieve this, or even if they do achieve it, it's such a hollow goal and there's always more to move forward to. So, you get 1,000 likes. When they hit 1,000 likes, it's no longer fun. You want 5, and then so on and so forth. So it's never really fulfilling. You're always chasing it. What happens is that they tend to essentially pursue something hollow. Additionally, because they don't love what they are going after and they are unable to survive this period which is which is the process, the most important part. Because they are unable to go through this period to get to here, they tend to go into a negative cycle. So they begin to fail here, fall short here, not hit their goals in a specific period of time, and then their confidence goes down, and then the cycle continues. So they'll get a new goal, they'll listen to a YouTube video, listen to some motivational talks, and then they'll want to go to this goal again, and they'll try again and say, okay, I'll start making checklists, or I'll start meditating, I'll do something to essentially get me to here, something that is promoted to them to make them believe that they need to do this, or some level of self-improvement exercise to get to here. and they just keep jumping from one self-improvement exercise to the other, when in reality all they need to do is figure out what they love doing and then just go all in on that. So yeah, those are just two major points that I forgot to include. And yeah, so I just want to say a quick thank you for looking at the video. Also, you guys don't have to subscribe. A like and a comment is good enough. When you do comment down below, I'd appreciate it if you share your feedback on the video. Seeing that it's the first one, I would just love to hear your perspective on the first video. It helps with creating new content, knowing what you guys enjoy, what you guys don't enjoy, as well as it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So again, thanks for watching the video, and I look forward to sharing my thoughts with you again in the future.